All right, all right. What's up, my brother? How's it going?
All is well. God is good. Can't complain.
This is my brother
Uh,
Johnny Green, man. But you can introduce yourself, talk to the people, let them know a little bit about you.
what's good, everybody? My name is Johnny Green. On the music tip, be Johnny Green, formerly known as Drastic. Uh, I'm born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I still reside here as well. A little bit of something about me. I'm a mental health worker. I work with at-risk youth, kids that deal with psychiatric issues, and I'm a servant of God.
Amen. I was thinking about earlier, we was talking behind the scenes about what our youth, where do you see the youth going in the next about 5 years? You know what I'm saying? The way the media is pushing certain things, the way the music is going, it ain't the same music me and you grew up on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no.
It's a totally different vibe. It's even more demonic. It's out in the open with some of the, satanic type stuff. So I'm just saying, so what's your thoughts on that, bro?
Well, from the looks of things, it looked like it's getting more treacherous, and it's, to me, it just seemed like it's going more downhill. Crazy thing is, like, when I speak to my kids on the daily, like, a lot of them, like, that's what they glorify is the drill music, and they'll ask me for my input because they know that I do music and I rap, and I just tell them straight up how I feel. I'll be like, man, I feel like it's trash, and that's not to say that when we was growing up that there wasn't negative music and stuff. It just seems like it's just more in the open now, and it's just thrown more in your face.
It kind of seemed like back then the music that we kind of grew up on, it had more of a message. Even though some of it still talked about, the killing, selling drugs and stuff like that. But even before that, there was a message and, Public Enemy and stuff like that. And, NWA and just different groups that, yes, they talked about the violence, but at the same time, they was trying to let you know what's going on in the community. You know what I'm
saying? They served as, the way I look at it, the way I look at hip hop, they was like, a lot of them were like our journalists.
Right.
They was reporting on things. They were reporting on things that they weren't reporting on in the news. So things that was happening out there, the news wasn't reporting on. So we had to. That was our media to see what was going on in our culture.
Right. To put the spotlight on.
Most definitely. And to go back to what you said, like it seems like the music nowadays doesn't really have substance. Versus like back then, a lot of the music that we listened to did have substance. And I think that's what's lacking now. It's like, there's no substance. The theme of the music, is definitely all demonic. Also, the fact that it's like when you're listening to it, if you're pushing positivity, it's like the radio has no time for it. Like versus back then, you had every now and then you had a few of your positive songs that got leaked on, but it's like now it's like if you have any type of message that's promoting something positive or upbringing,
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're not gonna promote it.
It makes me think about have you ever noticed that they'll put a certain artist on a pedestal that's going to teach young women how to be hoes and sell your body and trick yourself out. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have certain artists that they put on a pedestal that teaches young men how to be thugs and killers. And then you're gonna have another artist that they put on a pedestal that kind of teach people to be gay and all this different stuff like that. Just it's gonna be 100. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they have an agenda.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. And it's like, if you look at it with the correct lens, and exactly that's what's going on. Right. ain't no way around it. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think we fix it, though? I mean, how do you think we make it better for the young people under us? Like, how can we make a change if we going against a system? Like you said, the radio don't want to hear this kind of positive stuff. The radio only wants the negative stuff that's going to keep us divided and fighting each other. What do you think we can do to make a change to try to kind of break that cycle or that curse?
Well, more and more we gotta continue to be the example. I feel like especially in our culture in general, in the United States, we're more of a narcissistic type society. You know, I feel like we need to teach that, you know, we need to be more community based. Also, I feel like we need to make sure that we're telling these kids the truth and not trying to not trying to be their buddy all the time. You know, I feel like a lot of times it's good to be, you know, somewhat cordial or whatnot, but we also got to make sure that we're speaking the truth to them and not trying to dumb down to them a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I feel like a lot of times we try to dumb down to try to fit in, and then we find ourselves being, you know, lost in the sauce, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And so, I mean, I know with the kids I speak to, they sometimes they feel like I'm a quote unquote Debbie Downer, or they feel like I'm being lame. But I just tell them what it is. You know, it's like, you know, when it comes to certain artists that put out certain music, and then they wonder why their artist, you know, ends up dead or whatnot. And I tell them, I said, it's the energy they're putting out there.
Yeah, they plant them seeds.
know?
They plant the seeds, man. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you plant those seeds, a harvest is coming.
Oh yeah, and I remember listening to an interview with what's his name, D1, where he was talking about the demise of an artist that had passed. He was like, he was sending his condolences, but then he was like, but also we got to remember, we are held accountable for the energy we put out, and usually the energy that we put out, we reciprocate, we get back.
Right.
And you know, a lot of times nobody wants to hear that, but it's facts, it's the truth.
Yeah, can't get around it.
No, not at all. You know, and it's crazy because I was just having this conversation with a coworker of mine the other day about hip hop back then versus now.
Mm-hmm.
And the two groups that came up was NWA and Public Enemy, you know, because this guy, he was like, well, what about them? They was putting this. I said, no, I said, there was a difference. I said, the difference between then and now was, yeah, they was rapping about that stuff, but they was letting you know what was going on.
Right.
You know, versus they weren't glorifying it.
It was reporting,
you know,
live.
Right. And so versus now, it's like they're glorifying it, you know, and the difference between, I guess, when you look at music now or hip hop, most of the rappers that were rapping back then, they were messengers. And if they did dabble in it, like it was, what was it? The drug dealers or whatever, they was giving a message, but they weren't abusing it. Now it's like all the rappers are drug abusers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's, I don't know. To me,
and
the stuff that comes out now ain't even, to me personally, the stuff that comes out now, it's not even music to me. You know, it's
a lot of it. Like I had to tell my kids, especially my youngest, a lot of it, they be doing, you know, rituals and stuff like that. I'm not gonna name no artist's name, but I seen him have a particular artist on his computer, and I said, "You listen to him?" Like he said, sometimes I said, "You got to be careful on this artist, because this artist is not who you think he is. This artist worships the devil." Because I do studies on a lot of this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't know, so I was breaking it down to him a little bit, you know, to kind of open his eyes up about it, because a lot of times, you know how music is, man. You start speaking this stuff over and it gets into your spirit. And then, you know, like I said, you plant those seeds and now you building a garden that you shouldn't have created because you got off your path.
Oh yeah, and you find yourself doing things that you wouldn't expect yourself to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Right.
downloaded in your subconscious.
Like
That's a real thing.
like I was gonna tell, like I done told somebody before. You know what I'm saying? It's like if a person's out to go do some dirt or some harm, they not listening to Barney on their way to go do it. You know what I'm
No,
saying? They listening
not at all.
so murder, kill. You know what I'm saying? That's what motivates. Like the type of music that we listen to our spirit is what motivates some of our actions. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's why I've been focused more on meditation music, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, with the music and the hooks, the verses, sometimes I don't want to hear no words. I just want to hear an instrumental, something that you can meditate to. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
It's still I got certain artists that I listen to and check out, but for the most part, I can't let certain artists into my spirit, man.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I remember there was a time where I had to do like a clearinghouse where I had to really go through and, you know, throw away some of my CDs. You know what I mean?
I did the
Like
same thing, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, it does something to your spirit. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it felt like I lifted took a lot of weight off of me.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember at one point in time, I was like, man, it's just music. You know, that's the thing. We had lost in the whole thing. Like, we were like, well, it's just music. They don't mean anything by it. And that's not true. Right. You know, it's deeper than that. You know, really is.
Real talk. Can you talk a little bit about, some of your community work?
Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've actually really been out in the community like that. But there was a time where I was involved with a program called People Uplifting Real People, PERT-ME. We used to go out and have events for the youth, and we did outreach for the homeless or whatnot. And I mean, every now and then I do an outreach with a fellowship I'm involved with Brother Denzel and Brother Chris, aka Foresight. And we just tend to just go out and spread love, you know, more so. And a group of other people we're involved with as well. I will say here lately, I've been kind of more like to myself.
Yeah.
But that is something that I feel like God has hinted on my heart to do, is get back in the community. Yeah. You know, and I think part of that kind of correlates with the job field I'm in. You know, the fact that, you know, I'm always dealing with the youth and interacting with them. Actually was one of my main prayers this year was like, God, how can I be more of a vessel for you? You know?
Yeah. So. That's real, man. Sometimes I'll be feeling the same way. You know, a lot of times, you know, we be working, family, you know, just I'll be low key myself, but I've been trying to figure out the best way to get back into the community. You know what I'm saying? Because I like what y'all doing, just going out and sharing love with people. You know what I'm saying? Praying for people, stuff like that. Because that's what the world needs, man. The world needs hope. You know, there's so much going on in the world. There's so many different distractions. People distracted by social media, politics. You know, what's his name? Not Jeff Bezos, but the other dude. Elon Musk. Yeah. Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? With the Twitter situation. You know, the war going on. Bills are being passed while we sleep. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on that I feel like it's a new season where people really want to hear and feel the power of God. And I feel a wave of soldiers of Christ going back out in the field, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't explain it, but I feel like more people's ears and hearts are open right now in this season. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be a part of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, I felt like it kind of started. Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got, I would say, lazy to an extent, and for me, the everything with the protests going on with uh George with Breonna Taylor and George Zimmerman and all and Ahmaud Arbery and all those cases that was going on, like I felt like then God had hinted to me like that was a call to action, you know.
Man. Yeah.
So and I mean it actually led to me seeing certain things, like opening my eyes to see. So there was a church I was going to at the time, and I had to step away from it because I felt like they weren't living how they was preaching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it hurt me because I mean, I love them to death, you know what I'm saying? And they did a lot for me, but it was just, I feel like God was opening my eyes to a whole lot of things around that time. Mm-hmm. And I found myself partaking in some of those protests, but when I was out there, I found myself, going to a corner and praying, or going out there and helping, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was, I don't know, that was a dark time for us.
Right. Do you feel like change was made? Because I know they just gave us a George Floyd statue, but really didn't want to change a lot of laws and stuff. But no disrespect to the Asian community. Kamala Harris came down, and within a week, they got a hate crime bill. We've been trying to get a hate crime bill since we've been around. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I've been saying this for the longest.
Back to what you were saying, I was thinking like with the George Floyd situation is next time it's an election, are we gonna have another George Floyd? You know what I'm saying? Every time it's about to be an election, the Democrats, Republicans, they always want to run on certain things and play with people's emotions and feelings and stuff to get you to vote a certain way, not on policies, but vote on, look who I got next to me. Look who I got in my party.
Right.
Instead of looking at the policies and seeing what's really being changed, because they changing a lot of stuff to dumb down our young people and keep them distracted and keep feeding them certain lies and stuff like that, man. It's wild.
Oh, bro. Yeah. I mean, no, that's crazy you say that because I've been arguing about that like crazy with a coworker of mine. I'm like, we got this president that comes in and tells us if we don't quote unquote vote for him, we're not black.
Right.
But then the first thing that happens when this whole situation, that he was quick to sign the executive bill, and I have nothing against, Asians. I love humanity, period.
Right. I feel the same way.
For us though, like when you look at it from our point of view, it's like, why do y'all continue to leave us out? You know what I'm saying? The only time we're involved is when they want to use us to get our votes.
Right.
And like you said earlier, they want to use our trauma as a plight. You know what I'm saying?
Or they want to get us to abort our children. You know what I'm saying? And kill each other in the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's wild how they push some of that stuff, man. It's about them making money. They can't make money if our community has peace. That messes with their money.
Oh yeah.
So they got to keep the chaos and crazy stuff going. Like this is allegedly. I ain't got no fact check or nothing like that. But Jeff Bezos' wife donated millions of dollars to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood even came out and said
I heard about that.
There was a racist organization. They said it themselves. They talk about, if you look up videos behind the scenes, what they be doing to these aborted babies and their body parts and their organs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, well, initially how Planned Parenthood started, it was meant to
break it down,
to kill us off.
Exactly.
If you study, like people study the history of it,
right?
That's facts. So I mean, I could never. And I mean, I understand, like, when some women be like, well, who is a man to say how to, you know, how we should handle ourselves, or I get that. And I mean, and I get that there are women that are put in, you know, crazy situations, but at the end of the day, we gotta tell it for what it is. That's what Planned Parenthood came around for.
Right.
Was to kill us off, you know.
Genocide. Yeah.
Facts.
Man.
And it's just it's a lot of things going on. I mean, to answer your question about certain change happening, I will say, like, from watching all the protests go on around the world, I felt like, to me, that sparked the change in humanity, because then you started seeing more of the people coming together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
all races.
Like, oh yeah, like here in Louisville, when the whole Breonna Taylor situation started happening and the protests were breaking out. I remember when it started. I remember I was at the dentist's office with my nephew and my niece, and I remember coming outside and seeing all these cars. You know, they had you know, was it Stand Up for Breonna, and they had, you know, their little designs, and just seeing all these it wasn't just, so see, a lot of times when we see protests, it's usually like us out there doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then to see just all the different ethnic groups out there, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, that brought a tear to my eye. Like, I literally was right there and I teared up, because I was like, man, I ain't never seen nothing like that.
That's real.
You know, never. And I think what it is, I mean, it's due to the era we living in, and with social media. You know, people are now seeing certain things because, you know, with everybody having camera phones and surveillance and stuff, you know, you dang near can't get away with nothing no more.
Right. It reminds
me. So it's like,
I was just gonna say, it reminds me of what was it? Bloody Sunday, when Martin Luther King, what was it, in Selma? They was crossing the bridge. They called it Bloody Sunday. When that situation happened, they had cameras and stuff out there. That was the first time for people to actually see, even around the world, how Black people was getting treated in America. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of seems like the history repeats itself, man.
Right, but you know, back then.
And one more thing I was just gonna say, a lot of it been traumatizing me. I know it traumatizes you, is to see all these videos of us getting killed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not only by each other, but by the police, man. And it's just like, I can't keep watching this stuff, man.
Same here. Like, anytime I hear about, like, to be honest with you, I don't even watch it no more because of what it does to my mental.
Right.
But like, that was the reason why, like, that was part of the reason why I stepped away from the church I was attending, because it was like, when I was bringing up, you know, these type of issues, it was kind of like people was turning a deaf ear to it, or turning a blind eye to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
like, they didn't want
even to the point to where, and this is where social media can be a detriment too. Like, I had to step away from social media for a bit, because I was going on there and, you know, expressing how I felt. And, you know, I was told, you know, by individual, you know, I understand you're angry, this and that, but keep it Christian. I'm like, how can you tell me to, you know, keep it Christian when I'm angry? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm angry because, like you said, we see this certain thing going on, and it's like, when it comes to, you know, us as the church, certain people aren't responding. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like some stuff in the church they want to be quiet about. Like the church, when it comes to our time, they want to be, they want to be quiet about it. But when it comes to, like, things happening overseas and everything, they're more so quick to ride for something that's going over there than what's going on over here in their own neighborhood. Right. That's definitely the world we live in. Instead of, like you said, we got all this homeless and stuff going on here. Instead of them, you know, helping the communities here, they be sending so much money to these wars, man.
Right.
It's wild.
And we know the reason for that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, break it down.
We know like there's an agenda for that. So we're like when they go over there and they do certain things, we know it's a form of colonization, you know. But you know, if you're not attentive and you're not paying attention, you know, you'll believe anything you hear on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you ain't lying, dog. You ain't CNN, Fox, all that. They tell you anything. And then you got certain news stations, they'll all say the same thing. I don't know if you've seen that synchronized video where all the news stations in different cities and states was told to say the same thing. You ever seen that before?
No, I don't think I've seen that. But I believe it because as an ex media major, because I did used to major in media, because it was a time where I wanted to be
like a journalist.
And it was like, I mean, you learn a whole lot of things, like how the media is meant to gear your perception, you know, and how, you know,
TV programming.
Oh yeah, and I mean, initially the media was really created to serve the people. It was meant to help us to keep, you know, to be like, really it was supposed to serve us to protect us from the government. That's the real reason why the media was created. And when you go back to Watergate with Richard Nixon and all that, but however, what has happened is the people, the powers that may be, the people that, you know, have the money, these corporations and stuff, they have the money to pay for, you know, what can be televised and things of that nature.
Right.
You know,
they be paying for whole news stations. And I got another question for you. What do you think about the 1994 crime bill?
Oh, I mean, like me personally, like my biggest thing when it came to voting, it was hard for me to, because I thought about that. You know, just I got cousins that are locked up behind that bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I got a cousin that barely got off. A cousin that almost, you know, I remember he was on his second strike and he barely got off, you know, by the grace of God. But I also got a cousin that's in there and still serving till this day because of that bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when, I ain't gonna lie to you, when Biden came up and he you know, stated that he was running and stuff, I had my doubts or whatnot. But then I ain't gonna lie, I thought he had an epiphany. I thought he had an epiphany, dog. And he got me with the tears. He got me, dog. He got me. Because at first I was with him riding and everything. I'm like, man, you know, he was responsible for the 94 crime bill, F him, blah, blah, blah. And then he got up there and he got me with the tears.
And if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Nah, see, I ain't gonna lie, that ticked me off when he said that.
I already know, bro.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like,
disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
That's just tell me, you know.
That's disrespectful, man. But what trips me out is that he had that much confidence to say that and still won. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But
well, you know, I think the reason why I feel like the reason why he won was because when they had the campaign or whatnot, Trump didn't have an answer for you know, the police brutality that was going on, or like once again them using our trauma, you know, the police brutality that was going on, or more so with the pandemic, you know. And because of that is what gave him, you know, the edge. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I didn't, you know, like, I just remember talking to a friend of mine. I was like, honestly, when it comes to these politicians, I don't think none of them before us for real, you know.
Because they all broke. Some big corporations and different companies done paid for them. Politicians are broke. That's why they changed certain laws to keep certain taxes down on certain companies. Like Amazon didn't have to pay taxes once again, and I forgot what it was, but they was raising something on everybody's bill. It's it could have been Amazon Prime or something like that, but they raising the prices on a lot of stuff where you think they could be able to give back just a little bit, saying that y'all didn't lose nothing.
Right.
You know. And then I'm gonna say this real quick with the pandemic hitting, you know, it kind of made me kind of lazy and stuff too. But then at the same time, it kind of got me motivated because you paid attention more of what's going on in the world and then with yourself. There's a time for everybody to sit down and really be with God and say, God, what you want me to do with this life that you're giving me?
Yeah, I felt like the pandemic in a way, I mean, it was sad with all the lives we lost, but I feel like also, to a sense, it was a blessing in disguise because it humbled us. You know what I mean?
Right.
It humbled many of us, you know. For me, you know, and this is what I was telling people. I said it just showed a lot of people who was really in control.
Right.
You know, like, because even though they had this agenda of what they were trying to do, it even backfired on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then
there was nothing they could, you know. And if you read the Bible, you see that God responds a lot during calamity. You know, like when you read in Ezekiel, where he talks about in Ezekiel, he talks about how I don't think who it was. I mean, we all know about Sodom and Gomorrah, but it was a passage in Ezekiel that he clearly said. It was several times where he kept repeating, and then you will know I am God. Then you will know I am God. And he was talking about how certain storms was coming, you know, and nobody would be able to control it. I think it's in Ezekiel 37, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I was in the word like crazy during those times, man.
Yeah, it was definitely growing season.
Oh yeah.
You know. But hey, bro, I ain't gonna hold you all day, man. I appreciate talking with you. Hey, I'm trying to remember. Hey, where did we meet at, bro? Was it that one of those events at Hotel Louisville?
Yeah. It was it was 2010.
Wow.
Naswada was throwing the event at Hotel Louisville. And I think it was myself, you, and Minister Justice.
Okay.
Yeah, we performed. And from then we've been cool since.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, just thank God for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, keep doing what God called you to do. And all of us, man, you know the group, you know the circle, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us really out here just trying to, we low key with it, but we really just trying to help people, bless people, be a blessing in the community. You know what I'm saying? Through music, we're not like poetry, praying, whatever it takes just to reach people. Go ahead, bro.
No, that's what I was about to say. Like that's what I admire about each of us is like I never got that sense where we was the gifts that we were blessed with. We've never tried to use it to, you know, like we use it as it's a mission. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I respect about each and every one of y'all. Like I never seen it. It never felt like we were out there just using it just to get glamour or, you know, to get praise off it. You know what I'm saying? It's more so what it's used for, you know, to serve people or to serve God, but to get the message out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When you keep the mission in perspective, it has no place but to go in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, people want a gift that's not theirs. When we all been blessed with many gifts and many talents, you know what I'm saying? And can't nobody take ours away. So why not use that unique gift that God has given you to be a blessing to somebody else? You know what I'm saying? We live in a world that's full of hatred, bro, where everybody wants to fight. Look, my car's better than yours. Beefing over this, beefing over that, stressing over this, stressing over that. My thing is, like, I feel God put it in my heart to try to get people to understand none of this stuff really matters for real. You know what I'm saying? We all here for a little while. We all here for a temporary season. So the best thing to do is pass on peace, pass on love. Not to say everything's going to be perfect and we living in a Barney world. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be able to help each other with community gardens, I seen your son over there and he was about to get into some trouble. I wanted to let you know so he wouldn't get caught up and not be called a snitch for that.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to help your neighbor out. Hey, I see your son that you might want to keep her out. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it 100. And
right, just
so
going back to the village.
Yeah, so we can help each other, bro. We done got so pulled apart. You got light skin fighting dark skin. You got the old generation fighting the young generation. You got so much going on that we got infighting where we destroying ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the world keeps carrying on, but it's like we slowly being replaced. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to I'm not trying to make this a race thing, but I want to be real about what's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's facts.
And that's why I love the church I go to. We got this thing called Be the Bridge, where we got a group where people, like the class we got now is only black people, Mexican, Spanish, or what, Japanese, whoever wants to come that's not white. And then we have a meeting in one room, and then another room we have a group of white people, and then they learning together. I didn't get to make it to the other meetings. The first, it was both of them together, and they had certain meetings. They did that for maybe a year or something. So now we're doing individual groups to see how we, as how we deal with certain things as a race. And
that's beautiful.
It's powerful, bro. And that's what we need to come together, because a lot of times they make money off of these racial issues. They make money off of war and stuff like that. So
yeah, off of our trauma.
Yeah, so if we all can come together on one accord and not be worried about the material things and silly things and stuff that don't mean nothing, man, we can really make a change in the world, bro.
Most definitely. And I mean, I feel like that's what was happening with when all the protests was going on. Because if you think about it, you had people in other countries protesting off of what was happening over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt like that was beautiful to me.
That was powerful.
Because I was like I said, I had never seen nothing like that. First was, like I said, when I seen just the amount of people protesting here and the different ethnic groups, that brought tears to my eyes. I was like, man, like I would have never thought I would have seen something like that in my lifetime. I mean, the first things first, I never thought I would ever see a black president, and to see my grandmother's face when that happened. But that's another story, topic too, because he a lot of our people get mad at me when I speak the truth about him.
A lot of people don't want to hear the truth, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, but it is what it is. But I mean, history was made. But just to see that, the camaraderie, and it's like we need more of that. Like I feel like when you see more people, use their privilege to help, the marginalized community, that's a beautiful thing, because that's nothing. We don't want to shun out the ones that are out there looking out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know how you see the pressure that it put on a lot of companies. They start, we're going to donate to these HBCUs, or we're going to donate to this business or this company now. But once all that died down, they stopped doing that. It was all just, okay, we can make some money off of this, y'all. Let's capitalize.
Right, exactly.
It's wild, man.
Yeah, but I was saying the same thing. Like when I was seeing all these business with the Black Lives Matters, I said they just doing that just to keep revenue in their business. You know what I mean?
They had a great slogan for Black Lives Matter, but behind the scenes, the organization ain't right, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah, the organization ain't right at all. When you look at the people at the top and the people that kind of started it,
that run it,
you see what's really going on. You realize it was just a whole nother scam. You know what I'm saying?
It was and I mean, if you read their mission statement, that's really the really thing that sucks. Like, it's really to keep us out the equation. And when I say us, I'm talking about us as black males.
Right.
Black males who, and nothing against the LGBTQ community, but it's like that. It's a war going on against heterosexual black males.
Right.
Like when I read that, and I was like, dang, I was like, what's the whole like their whole mission statement had nothing to do with us. But when you when you see from afar and you watch what they put on the news and you see like a lot of us dying, you would think, oh, they're for us.
Right.
They had nothing to do with us.
Nah, that's why I said that slogan was perfect.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy, dog. And so many people was donating because they thought they was doing a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding that, nah, y'all been duped, man. This lady's about to go buy $1 million homes out there by the people that, you know what I'm saying, they trying to make us fight against.
Exactly. Using our trauma as their plight.
Yeah, man. It's wild. Wow, bro. But in closing, is there any last thing you want to say before we get off?
Yeah, I would say for those that continue to walk with God, don't get discouraged and to keep pushing, you know, and to stay focused on the mission. Stay focused on the mission. If you don't stay focused on the mission, you could easily get distracted.
Man.
Most definitely.
Well, I appreciate you, my brother.
That's a message. That's a message to myself too, man.
Hey, me too, man.
Stay focused on the mission.
Yeah, every day we got to remind ourselves.
Most def, man. I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Hey, no problem, bro. Hopefully the record and everything works out. This is gonna be the first video of many podcasts. So like I said, I appreciate your time, bro. I respect your time. I respect your gift and everything you're doing. Just keep on letting God use you, man. We're gonna make change one soul at a time.
Most def. Absolutely, man. Going against the grain.
Yes, sir. This world is a beast.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. I'll get at you, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Peace.
Peace.